Now, to become inefficient. So how? This is a wonderful question. And this is the kind of things you need to be doing all the time. Questioning yourself. How? How can this happen to a true born again believer? Because there are people out there who don't think this is possible for a believer. Friend, I don't know where you read that at in the book, but everywhere I read in the book, I see humans falling everywhere. People that we say, Abraham, the father of faith, David, a man like after God's own heart. I mean, just on and on and on. Peter, John, the beloved. I mean, just people living their lives, falling. How? How can a true born again believer do that? Friend, if that's your response, then you don't fully, you're saying you don't understand it. You don't fully understand the new birth. All believers living in this current world only possess the first fruits of salvation. What do I mean by that? No, it's not what I mean by that. It's what God said. See? Let's go look at what God said concerning your and my salvation today. Right? So when we look at it, you and I have what the Bible says are the first fruits. Right here. Okay, I'm going to read this passage so you can get a understanding of what he's saying concerning his first fruits. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time. Now, the sufferings Paul is talking about isn't necessarily sickness, isn't necessarily poverty, isn't necessarily those kinds of things. It's not necessarily what he's talking about. They're included, but that's not what he's talking about. You have to go back up here where he was talking about the law of sin and death. Let's go back up here so I can show you exactly the context. What's the context of what Paul is talking about? He just came out of chapter 7 saying, watch, context is king, folks. Okay. And this is why it's so important to put all these things together. All right. So Paul was struggling. He's struggling right here. It's a battle. For we know has been what is good, that is the law of God, all of God's laws, whether it's the moral laws of, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, or the spiritual laws where you honor God above all things. No graven images, no other God beside me, don't take my name in vain, that's those kind of things. Has then what is good become death to me? Certainly not. That is what God said causing me to sin? No, man. But sin, that's the problem. Notice, please, I pointed this out to you before. When you're reading the Bible, you have to pay attention to the actual word. It is not with an S. This is behavior. The one with the S is your behavior. The one without the S is the body of sin. This is the cause, and this is the effect. It's the body that's causing the action and behavior. So what do you have to deal with? Don't deal with the symptoms. Don't deal with behavior. You got to take this guy out. That it might appear that you are in fact a sinner by nature. was producing, listen, what was producing death? What is it that Paul said through the Spirit of God is producing death in him? Sin. The body is producing that. You see what's going on? In me through what is good, that is knowledge of the law, so that sin through the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. That is, you can start seeing it the way God sees it instead of through your own natural eyes. Oh, it's a white lie. God says he hates it. Oh, the lie? No, he hates the sinner that tells the lie. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am what? I am carnal. That is, spiritual means one that is connected to God and have God's kind of life. Carnal means one that is connected to Adam and Satan and have Satan's nature. One has God's nature, spiritual. The other has the devil's nature, carnal. Right? How did he get there? Somebody sold him under sin. He was sold, friend. Paul was sold. Oh, by the way, you were sold too, and so was I. Who sold us? That old man named Adam? Everybody's great grandfather sold us out, friends. You were sold into a different kingdom, under a different king. For what I am doing, I do not understand, and most people don't. For what I will to do, now that he's saved, he wants to do the right thing that I do not practice, but what I hate. See, there you have it, friends. There you have it. A true born again believer will never love his sin, will always hate his sin. And as you get closer and closer and closer to God, you say, I don't sin as much. No, you don't sin as much before you shall notice every little sin. The spotlight gets so bright the closer you get to God, and you just start feeling really bad and incompetent. If I do what I'm reading too much, I'm going to get way off topic. I don't want to, friends. So I'm going to just move on. But now it is no longer I, that it is. His spirit is now washed and clean, and it's not producing it, but sin that dwells in me. For I know what's the in me now. Where's sin dwelling? You say inside his spirit. No, that he's going to explain it. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh. What is that? That's a combination of his soul and his body. The two parts of you that are not saved. His spirit is saved. It's the only part of him that is saved today. But in his flesh, the two parts that remains carnal, that God told you to do something with, they're not.